I'm going to start off by saying that this part of Toronto that I filmed was not the most interesting, attractive, or exciting area of the city. So I don't think it's going to be of much interest to many people on here. But my family lived here for a number of years, and they live outside of Toronto now, so they haven't seen this area in a long time, and they were curious to see the video. So I'm posting it basically to show my family what this area looks like now, so they can, I guess, contrast it by the way it used to look a number of years back. We're on Steeles Avenue West. We're heading from Yonge Street over to Bathurst and Steeles, and we're going to check out the neighborhood, which back in the day used to be mainly Jewish, but Russian people were moving in, and now it seems like it's mainly Russian. There's a whole bunch of Russian stores in the area that were not there before, and the area looks very well. Actually, the area looks pretty much the same, but the people in the area look different. It's a different demographic that has moved into the area, I think. It's a mixed area. There's all different ethnicities in the area, but you can tell by the stores, and when you read the writing on like the signs and things, you can see that there's a lot more Russian signs now than there used to be when I lived in this area. Now the thing about this area is, when I lived there, I remember walking on this street from Bathurst and Steeles all the way to the Centrepoint Mall at Yonge Street, and it was one terrible walk, because as you can see, you're basically walking facing people's backyards, fences, so the whole way there's nothing to look at. And on cold winter days when you're walking there, oh my God, it's like the most boring walk. I just remember I hated walking to that mall, because unfortunately at that time I did not have a car, and that's even back before there were people use cell phones, so you couldn't even call like to check the bus, and like they didn't even have, I don't think that they had accurate like schedules for buses and stuff, because I remember when I used to work in downtown Toronto, especially on Sundays, there'd be some days that I'd go out there and I would just miss the bus, and then I'd have to wait something like, I think it was 45 minutes for the next bus. And this is on cold winter days. It was like, that was hell. I remember just like hating like having to deal with the buses on weekends when I was working in the downtown core, and also coming home from work too. If you worked during the week and you had to catch the bus at Finch subway station, the Steeles West bus was always completely packed. You were always standing, and you were crunched in the bus like a bunch of sardines. So it was a really unpleasant ride. So in that area, I'd say that if you're gonna live there, you definitely need a car. It's very hard to get around that area on public transit. Well, maybe now it's better. I mean, I really can't say. Maybe the public transit has improved in that area, but I'll tell you that when I lived there, it was not easy to get around. And if you like, the only thing that was convenient is right here you're going to see the Bathurst Steeles strip mall, and your strip mall is almost on all sides. There's one a little bit west of here on the south side, then there's the one there at Bathurst and Steeles that we're heading off to now, and then there was another one on the north side, which is I believe Vaughan. The Steeles is the border. So when you cross on the north side, you're not in Toronto anymore, but when you're on the south side, like right here, now you are in the city of Toronto. The area is called Willowdale. So this mall is almost exactly the same as it was years ago. There's not a whole lot difference, except all the stores are different. I think there's one store in this whole mall, well two. I think there was a Shoppers Drug Mart, and there still is, and then there was a bakery, and the bakery's still there. Okay, so now we're going to get a closer look at this strip mall. Not the greatest mall in the world, but when you live in this area, you have so few stores and things around you that you'll take what you can get. So I mean, there's a Subway sandwich shop there, you got a pizza place. Hairdressing place, I don't think that was there. I don't remember any of these stores. And right over here you have what looks to be a Russian delicatessen. And when I lived in the area, there was a place called Wycliffe Meats that had really good prepared foods. So it was still a delicatessen, it was just a different kind. It wasn't a Russian one, it was just a regular deli. Chic Boutique. The names of these places. That Chic Boutique was not there when I lived there. Steele's Bakery, that was there back in the day. And that's about it. There was no Korean restaurant. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have had that. Cigar and news. The video corner. That was not there. I think maybe the TD Bank might have been there, and then there was a Shoppers Drug Mart there, and then there was a food store. I forget the name of the grocery store that was there. It was like a major grocery store. So at least that's one good thing, that you could at least go get your groceries. You didn't have to travel or carry groceries too far in the area. But there really wasn't a whole lot in this area. I remember when I used to want to go to the library, right? I had to walk. I didn't have to walk, but if I did walk, it was like an hour and a half to the downtown Northbrook Library. I think that was the closest library to where I lived there. As opposed to now in downtown Toronto, within about 15 minutes I can walk to 5 different libraries. So it's so much more convenient when you live like right in the downtown core of the city. I got like 6 grocery stores that I can walk to now. It's a completely different experience. So here, crossing the street here to the north side of Steeles. So we're technically out of Toronto now. And there was a mall there. And I can't remember exactly all the things that were in there. I think there was a Dollarama in that mall. And there was another food store, a grocery store in that mall. And if you keep going up this street, there was Promenade Mall. But that was another one of these malls that were like a half an hour walk, and it's a really, really boring, horrible walk. You do not want to have to walk up to Promenade Mall. You definitely need a car if you want to travel around this area and not be bored out of your mind. All parking lots. Parking lots everywhere. I do not like these strip malls. I just don't find them interesting to shop at. I don't like the way they look. Don't find them attractive. I'd say ban all strip malls. Put parking underground and use that space like some kind of a public square. You know, like make it at least pedestrian friendly. So when you go shopping, you can hang out. Outdoor patios for restaurants. You know, things that are very people friendly, pedestrian friendly. Now I do remember there being some decent restaurants in this area. Although when you see cash for gold, that's usually not a good sign. When people are selling their gold for basically low prices, that means they're kind of in financial straits. Pawn shops and things like that. So here we are, just taking a walk around the strip mall here, checking out what they got. As you can see, not a whole lot of exciting stuff. Eastern Spa. more services and actual decent places to shop. Nail salon. Popeyes.
Hindi, what I mean is yung parang yung talagang pang basketball sapatos, inuwi ko kasi.
Sounds like somebody speaking Russian there. Penny Mayish Paruski? There was no Popeyes there when I lived in the area. There was a Dollarama here. Oh, it's still there. Okay. There's the Dollarama. So that's the one place that's actually still around. Dollaramas always do well. You can put basically a Dollarama anywhere in Toronto and they're going to make money and do well. Even rich people shop at Dollarama. Everybody wants a deal. And here's the Freshco. And Freshco is also a fairly, well, it's a moderate, medium-priced grocery store. It's mostly services here. Nail salon, massage, banks. Not a whole lot of shopping. Then a few cafe here. Second cup. And one outdoor patio. That's not bad for North York. Not a whole lot of outdoor patios in North York. This area also is known to have a number of Jewish restaurants. There's Jewish delis, delicatessens along Steeles between Yonge Street and Dufferin Street. Not too many right at this location, but if you go up and down the street there's a few half-decent delicatessen places. Okay, this is basically what it's like. This basically shows you that cars rule here. This is a place where you basically drive everywhere and you live in your car. It's a completely different experience than living in the core of old Toronto, where you can really have a really convenient life by just hopping on the TTC and you got everything within pretty good walking distance of your house. So this is just one last look at the strip mall. Spent a number of years hanging out here because there was nothing else around. There was nowhere else to go. It was here, and then there was a park close by. Sometimes I go to the park. Other than that, I'd walk to downtown Yonge Street, walk to North York, Civic Center, and things like that, but it was a hell of a long walk. Anyways, this is the end of my video of my old hood at Bathurst and Steeles.